In business, it's always the flashy, fast-growing companies that seem to grab all the headlines, right? But what about something quieter? The kind of power that comes from credibility, the stuff that's built, patiently over decades. Well, today, we're going to look at a company that did exactly that. They chose that second path, building an absolutely unshakable reputation right from the ground up. And it all kicks off with this one number, 20 plus. Yeah, that's more than 2 decades in just one industry. I mean, think about it. In a world where startups pop up and disappear overnight, that kind of longevity, that's not just experience. It's a real statement. It's basically the bedrock of this whole story we're about to get into. All right, so who is this company? Let's go ahead and put a name to this legacy and see what it really means to be a benchmark in your field. Okay, so this is Mervarid Nafis Fars. And listen, they're not just selling dried fruits and nuts. No, they manage the entire chain. We're talking packaging, exporting, and importing. Having that kind of end-to-end control, that is exactly what gives them such a powerful position in the Iranian market. But look, a reputation like this, it doesn't just magically appear out of thin air. It's earned. So to really get a handle on their success today, we've got to go back. Way back to the very beginning. So here's that whole journey, pretty much in a nutshell. You see where they started over 2 decades ago and where they are today, a recognized pioneer. And let's be clear, this is not one of those overnight success stories. Nope, this is a marathon, a long race of just consistent effort and a serious commitment to quality. So you might be wondering, what was their secret? How did they keep growing for so long? Well, it came down to a really smart focus strategy. Instead of trying to be everywhere at once and spreading themselves thin, they decided to completely dominate one specific region first. They built like an unbreachable stronghold. And where did they focus? Right here in 2 key provinces, Fars and Khuzestan. By basically mastering their operations in just these 2 places, they built this incredibly powerful launchpad for whatever they wanted to do next. It's really a perfect example of building depth before you go for width. And of course, once you have a foundation that strong, what happens next? Expansion becomes almost inevitable. From that solid southern base, they just started to push outwards. It really proves that a super focused start can fuel a nationwide influence. But that leads to the obvious question, right? Did they just stay a big regional player? Or did that solid foundation let them dream even bigger? Oh, far from it. Not even close. Their products started reaching every single major commercial hub you can think of across the country. Tehran, Mashhad, Isfahan, you name it, they were there. This was the moment. This is when they went from being a regional power to a true bona fide national leader. Okay, so after this whole decades-long journey, what's the big takeaway? What's the end result? It's not just about market share or fancy logistics. It's something much bigger. It is the single most valuable asset any company can ever build. And it all boils down to one simple thing, credibility. A long history in the market just directly translates to trust among other businesses. Their experience, that 20 plus years, it isn't just a number on a page. It's a strategic asset. Because when you've been a reliable partner for that long, people, well, they notice. So if you want the formula, here it is in its simplest form. The roots, over 20 years of dedicated experience. The result, nationwide trust and credibility. It's a straight line from one to the other. You just don't get the second part without the first. The story of this one company really shines a light on a universal truth about business. And it leaves all of us with a pretty critical question to think about. No matter what field you're in, what are those daily actions, those consistent principles that actually turn time into trust?